Hey guys, what's happening? My name is Anurag, and today in this video, we will be talking about UX as a career and your roadmap to succeed in the same. I'm going to read a thread and I'm going to elaborate on the same. So let me quickly share my screen. And here we go. So this was the tweet. By 2030, UX design will stand out as one of the most solid, highly paid careers amongst all others. And this is how you can get started into UX, UI, or product design. Number one point that I've written is understand visual design. In case if you already happen to be into IT and any sort of tech field basically, and you know that how programs or how websites work, right? So the best way in this scenario would be to start practicing your craft in a manner where you get to learn more about the design styles, what the theory behind color usages, how shadows can elevate your design, or what frames are in Figma or Sketch, any sort of tool that you can learn at this moment. In one of his videos, Abhinav actually talked about copying and tracing the work of some successful designers or some successful products that already exist in the market by taking screenshots, putting them onto a Figma as an artboard and doing the reverse engineering on the top of it. This will make you understand the basics and what psychology was in the head of the designer or the design team behind creating this particular product. And that's one thing. My second point was to know the basic terms and structure of digital products. Yeah, the name is self-elaboratory, and at the very same time, basically what I meant, have understanding about what UI elements or what UI components go onto a certain page. Let's say if it's a web page is formed out of using different sections. A section is formed using different groups of items. A group of item can be a text. If a text, then it can be heading, it can be paragraph, it can be something else, accent text, etc. Some media file like image, and a button that is like an action driven stuff. Different grouping of elements result in different sort of UI components. A card can be different thing, whereas a CTA message can be different. A section can be a different thing. Similarly, on an application also, everything can be itemized into being a UI component. So this is what you need to understand, the terms and structures of a digital product. Also, I wrote about understanding breakpoints and responsiveness. Yes, you will get to know that when you actually get started into product design. Start practicing it. You will start to notice the for example, on this screen you are seeing on the left side we have a huge margin, on the right side we have a huge margins. Why? The reason behind this is so that our eye stays in focus and we are able to cater to the information that is actually presented in front of us. Again, here's the UX part. So the third point is all about understanding user psychology flows, design decisions. The design decision part can be an overlap between the point number 2 and point number 3. You need to understand what actually went in their head, inside their head, while they were actually designing the product. So that is where you want to understand it. Different kind of users, different kind of needs, and different kind of actions. This is what happens when you get into design. For example, you open Netflix and you start scrolling. You will see, okay, why the card looks like this and why not that? They changed something. Why did they change? They took off the button from here and there. Instead they placed it as a bottom navigation. What might have been the reason? Let's go to Medium and let's read about it. Someone might have already written about it. Develop this habit of reverse engineering all these things. Point number 5 is to trying to design your own app. Let's say I go to a website where I have to take a certain action. I feel like this is not working right on the mobile devices the way it should have worked. So what do? I create a Google form. I write every single problem that I faced as a question. I send it to 10 friends of mine. I ask them to fill up the form, and once it's filled up, I gather all the data, make the best out of the same data without incorporating new features, new changes. I just rearrange the existing website or the app in a way that makes more sense. I just document the whole process. This is how I can create a portfolio if I were starting from scratch. Let's say tomorrow you go for a job interview. You just need to make sure you get all these points corrected. And I guess that's roughly how you can actually get it started.